Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Good Touch for a Big Man podcast. I'm joined by my co-host Kieran this week. Kieran,
why so monotone?
I know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I tried to catch you off guard.
No, you didn't.
Did
Don't
I
lay this on me.
No, I was trying to catch you off guard. I'm not blaming you for the monotone. That sounds quite nice though. I like the sound of my own voice. Is what I'm saying.
How is this? This guy's wild.
Here we go again. Why do we do this?
I was. Why was I? I feel like
start this again.
No.
What the fuck is going on?
I feel like this 2-week break has made me rusty on chanting Mike. I feel like it came natural to us about 2 weeks ago. And now it's gone.
I feel very natural doing this for sport.
Of course,
I don't feel like. I'm not gonna. If you're gonna slate me, I'm not gonna get into it. Why do we do this? You know.
How have you been, Adam?
Alive and well. Yeah, good actually. Yeah, I can't really complain. I'm still. Do you know what? I feel a bit of a detachment from Premier League football at the minute. I don't know what it is.
Right.
No, but what do you think I was gonna say? I'm not depressed like it.
You started with detachment, and then I was like, oh no.
No, I just think I'm missing Friday nights in Talga Park. I'm missing the boys going for points and stuff before a game.
But
and
what
after
about
game.
the five-a-side? Is that not filling your void?
I didn't play, so no. Looking at you, I kind of wish I did. I was on the side of the pitch. I presented Kieran with his Man of the Match award, which is a bottle of Lynx Africa shower gel. I don't know if have you used it yet. I
was using it today, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
I've used it 3 times, actually.
Right, guys.
3 or 4 times.
At least you're clean, I suppose. No, I'm not saying you're unclean. I'm just saying.
There's a lot to be said for being clean, isn't there?
Well, there is. Especially
on public transport.
$4.90 I paid for that, for what it's worth. For a bottle of Lynx Africa shower gel. I don't know why I did that.
You had a confrontation with the Dublin scammers, Adam, it sounds like.
Shout out to the Spartans from the hill. Robbing bastards.
€5 for a shower gel, lovely. Yeah, time to emigrate.
If that's a reason to emigrate, I don't know what. If that's not a reason to emigrate, I don't know what is. Kieran, you played really well last Thursday. I didn't really expect it, to be honest. I was expecting. I was slightly all week. I was saying you're going to be bad, and then you were in goal, weren't you?
Is that why I got man of the match?
I think
because I feel like a lot of players were better than me.
I feel like the expectation for you was so low that because you performed well, I think you deserved the man of the match. And Ian agreed.
Thanks, Gary.
Ian agreed as well. Yeah, Ian agreed. Tom was probably the best on the pitch.
Tom was very good. Yeah, he has that low centre of gravity. I said that before. I don't mean that in a bad way.
I feel like you do.
He's good at nutmegging people.
Yeah, he's a good footballer. Always has been. But that it didn't feel the gap. I'll put it that way. I seen Tom before we went in, and I said, how are you getting on? I hadn't seen him in a while, and it took me about 10 seconds to bring up Shells in the league. He was like, "That what the fuck, man? You're not even gonna give me a break. You're not even gonna give me a chance." I'm still on a high from that as well, Kieran. I don't know if I should be, but the last 3 weeks have been so long yet so quick. If that makes sense.
Do you know what?
It's like an oxymoron.
I'm sick of hearing it, but at the same time, I'm happy for you. So enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, well, I will. You don't know how long it's going to be before you win again, so you may as well enjoy it while you're here. Do you know? But I think that's why my detachment from Premier League football has been a thing.
Yeah.
Do you know, like I didn't see the game yesterday. I was in work and I watched it when I got home. And obviously, I want Liverpool to win. Liverpool are top of the league by 8 points, is it now? As good as we've been in a good few seasons, like.
Will we start with that game, Adam?
Yeah, I suppose we will, because it was a good game for, I suppose, neutral to an extent. If you're a Southampton fan and you're looking at Alex McCarthy and Sugawara, you're kind of like, what the hell is going on there? But
Che Guevara.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm enjoying it as much as I should be. Is my point about Liverpool. But I am very happy we're top of the league. So.
Yeah, I thought it was a weird game. I think the fact that Liverpool have the best defensive record in the league and they're conceding 2 away to Southampton, the worst team in the league, is very ironic in a way of just Premier League football and its inconsistencies. people call them consistencies. I call them inconsistencies because there's a lot of teams just dropping points here, left, right, and centre. I mean, City lost 4-0 to Tottenham, for God's sake. But yeah, I thought it was a strange one, that. And looking back on the highlights, I think Southampton should feel hard done by. They didn't have a penalty when Kelleher slid into.
I think that one.
Adam Armstrong.
I think it's one of them, isn't it? The game balances itself out at points, and they shouldn't have had a penalty in the first half. So I think on the balance of fairness, do you know the way football works.
I think that was a penalty. You're talking about the Robertson one that's outside the box.
It is outside the box.
Well, I thought it was on the line. His foot was on the line, and he tackled him.
Yeah,
but and that's classed as a penalty.
It is. I was about to say, yeah, but it was outside the box.
The Kelleher one, as an isolated issue, do you agree that was a penalty?
Possibly, but we seen one similar a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, when Chelsea played Liverpool, when Sanchez kind of clashed with a player.
Well, and a penalty was also given for something similar in that game.
And then it was taken away. So, I think it's one of them where, Kelleher, he doesn't get the ball. So I suppose, yeah, it's foul, but at the same time, he can't magically just disappear out into thin air. Like, his body's there,
Well, it's the shoes on the other foot. You'd want that penalty, definitely. Well, if Alex McCarthy did it
when we beat Chelsea a couple of weeks ago, I didn't think it was a penalty.
Well, Sanchez didn't make contact with.
Well, he did. They did literally collide, but he got a foot in the ball. Do you know? So I think you're delusional if you think Southampton were robbed of something here. I think you're mad if you think that, because I think Liverpool were much the better side.
Well, I think Southampton for a portion of the game were on top. When they went 2-1 up, they had seemed to have momentum behind them.
But the game is played over 90 minutes, not over
well,
a portion
this
of the game.
is what I'm saying. You said Liverpool are a much better side. I'd argue that Southampton, for a portion of the game there, they had momentum. I feel if they got that penalty, scored it, 3-1, the game's dead, in my opinion.
Disagree.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But I think the game comes to a halt in that sense.
Maybe it does, but
I do think this is the problem. I mean, they gave something similar for, you're talking about Sanchez against Liverpool. They gave something similar for Sanchez against Man United a few weeks ago, and Sanchez seems to be involved in a lot of these instances because he's a rubbish goalkeeper.
He's a fucking idiot, that's why.
Yeah, but I think based on consistency, if you're given the Man United one, Sanchez against Rash or against Højlund, you have to give.
But they also didn't give
decisions
the
to
one
smaller
against
teams as well.
Liverpool though, as well, do you know?
Yeah, well, this is the problem.
And Man United are a small team these days. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, but this is the problem. If you're talking about the one against Liverpool, blah blah blah, you have to have, is that a penalty? Is it not a penalty? Because there's been too many times where that has been given as a penalty.
So there's been 3 occasions now in recent times where 2 have been given as a penalty and 1 hasn't. So which is it? Do you know? That would be my issue with it, really. Like we didn't need the penalty to be used that time. Who's to say that Southampton would have needed to beat us? I think the way you said that as well, that at 3-1 it's dead in the water. What gives you that suggestion? Like, what suggests
the
that?
momentum's behind Southampton. The chance of Liverpool getting 3 points is dead in the water anyway.
No, I disagree.
I think there's still a little time left in the game at that point if that penalty's given for them to score 3. But I also think that the goalkeeping, and I was listening to some awfully biased commentary on Match Today, by the way, some goalkeeping for Alex McCarthy for Salah's goal. And I think the commentator says, beautiful touch by Mo Salah.
It was a nice touch.
It was a nice touch. He had an open goal today.
I know.
The goalkeeper's coming out.
I know.
The commentator does not mention the terrible goalkeeper once.
But the awareness of Salah to spot McCarthy off the line.
The awareness from Salah
to speed the game is played that, like, do you know what I mean?
The awareness from him to see an open goal in front of him and slot it into the net.
It's not to do it though.
You'd expect that as Salah, is what I'm saying.
You would.
I think it's a terrible piece of goalkeeping, and it wasn't mentioned once on the commentary. I think
McCarthy made a few good saves in the game though as well. Like I remember years ago he made his debut for Reading against Liverpool. What was it, about 2012 I think it was, when Kenny Dalglish was the manager. So we had the likes of Charlie Adam and Jordan Henderson, Andy Carroll knocking about, and young Alex McCarthy starts this game for Reading in the Majewski Stadium, and he has an unbelievable game, and he's kind of done that throughout his career. I remember him playing well a few times against Liverpool. And to be fair, he has a bit of a howler throughout the game. You can't really deny that. But I don't think he played as bad. And I think sometimes, especially on match of day, and if it's an English goalkeeper, they're very reluctant to kind of slate them.
Yeah, fair.
English player, full stop.
What did you think though? You're 31 points from a possible 36 now. Happy out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I keep saying this thing where I was watching Gary Lineker's podcast earlier, and they kind of suggested that Mika Richards suggested it. So take this what you will, but he was like, Liverpool haven't even played well this season, which I think is garbage. I think that's a really bad show. We've had games against Arsenal where, Arsenal go 2-1 up and they decide to park the bus, and we salvaged something for that. The game against Brighton at home where we had to come back, and this is what I mean by, you were suggesting, Liverpool at 3-1 wouldn't come back. Southampton a couple of weeks ago against Leicester, I think, did they lose in the last minute or drew at the last minute? Like, you can't really.
But there's lots to be said about conceding 3 goals against Southampton, the worst team in the league, is there not?
I wouldn't worry majorly about that when you consider that our starting goalkeeper and our starting right back isn't playing. Now, we're lucky in the sense that Kelleher's performed so well, and that Bradley, generally speaking, has played very well. But you could see for the second goal that the Liverpool conceded, Bradley's position wasn't great. But point being is we're still 2 of our starters down, and it's after an international break. And not the last international break, the one before, we lost the first coming back off that. So the international break's a banana skin, generally speaking, with the players travelling and such. And that's not just for us; it's for everyone in the league. But I was kind of expecting a bit of banana skin on Sunday, so to come out with a win is really good for Liverpool.
Yeah, are you solid enough, do you reckon, to maintain this? There's a tough run coming up. Obviously, you have Real Madrid tomorrow, is it? Or is it tomorrow?
Real Madrid Wednesday, Manchester City Sunday. Yeah. Come here. The whole season it was Liverpool was struggling when they go on this run. And I believe this run started, excuse me for checking my phone, but this run started...
Terrible table manners from Adam here.
This kind of hard run that people were alluding to started when we played Chelsea at home, and we've yet to lose game. Chelsea, Arsenal, Leipzig, Brighton away, Brighton at home, Leverkusen at home, Villa at home.
There's a lot to be said for being...
There's a lot to be said for how Liverpool have played, man.
But there's a lot to be said about being defensively solid as well, isn't it? Like, they've conceded only 8 goals. Like, I feel like last year under Klopp there was too many goals being leaked. Maybe that's the antidote.
And as well as that, like, the players that Klopp brought in his last season, the likes of Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister, I think you're really seeing the best of them. McAllister comes on yesterday, about half an hour left, and it was like it was him on his own penning Southampton. Southampton didn't get into Liverpool's half from the 71st minute till the 83rd minute when Liverpool went 3-2 up. Like, that says a lot. Like,
Gravenberch's excellent, I think.
He's been great.
And shout out to him for carrying my fan tracks at the moment as well. Cheers, Ryan.
But I think
first name basis, by the way.
I think the bigger issue for Liverpool is probably off the pitch at the minute, with Salah particularly.
Yeah, what do you think about that? He's not signed the deal.
It's not that he hasn't been offered a deal.
I feel like that's spoof.
Did you see the interview after the game?
I did, and I don't believe him.
Why don't you believe him?
I don't believe him. I don't believe he hasn't been offered. You don't. I think you'd be crazy if you believe that Liverpool haven't offered their best, I would say arguably one of their best ever players, a contract. So that's a ridiculous...
So you're working, right, and you're working off pure conspiracy here. I'm working off the word from the horse's mouth.
Is it conspiracy, or
yes, it is.
Is it just narrowing down common sense?
It's not narrowing down common sense.
No.
The man himself has said he hasn't been offered a contract.
I think that is baloney.
I think
that has to be baloney.
I was looking at it. I think it's a cry. It's so erratic that he's done this. I thought it was a cry for help. I'm being serious with you. a cry for a contract. I'm being deadly serious with you. Because I was reading something about it from the Anfield Rap, because obviously they stand outside after the games with the likes of NBC or whatever. And they'll usually be like, obviously, can we get a word with you? And usually all the players are straight past, not saying a word.
Yeah.
For Salah to come out after the game and go, look, it's early December, haven't been offered a contract, we'll probably be gone at the end of the season. To me, that is a cry for, I don't want to say help, but a cry for a contract. That's the way I've seen it.
Yeah, I can't see him not being offered something. I feel like they've offered him something and it's not reaching his terms.
Yeah.
I can't.
I do tend to agree with you. It's hard to fathom that they haven't offered him a contract. But I truly believe that they haven't, because it shouldn't be an issue. Like this shouldn't have even transpired. Like, he should be signed. It shouldn't have gotten this far. You know, it's a bit of a shame that it's gotten this far.
And if they haven't offered him a contract as well, it just shows how overrated he is. If that's the reason why. But anyways,
I'm not even going to entertain that.
we have to move on, Adam.
Before we move on, Kieran, from Mo Salah, best right winger in Premier League history. Best winger in
I
Premier
think
League
it's
history.
to be determined.
What is the detrimental factor?
He needs to finish his career first. But I'll entertain this argument another day.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
We'll be here another 15 minutes.
I think his record so far this season is as good as.
He's in some nick. I'll give him that.
And this is part of the issue. It's like, but why would you get rid of him? Again, before we move on, and again, just really briefly, I want to bring this statistic up to you. Quickest to 10 Premier League wins, Arne Slot in 12 games, 31 points. Level with him was Goose Hiddink in 08-09, and beneath them is Carlo Ancelotti, who Slot faces on Wednesday evening. Slot with a better goal difference than Gus Hiddink's Chelsea in 08-09.
Do you do me a favour? That's ridiculous.
So, Arne Slot, better manager than Gus Hiddink.
Carlo Ancelotti. Gus Hiddink, the interim manager. Carlo Ancelotti. Yeah, Carlo Ancelotti is how many Champions Leagues? How many does Arne Slot have?
His career's not over yet, Kieran, as you said about Salah.
There you go, it's to be determined.
To be determined.
But yeah, Adam, I want to talk about Man City and their downfall, actually, because they'll have a say in the title race come the end of May. It's May this year, isn't it? But it's very late in May.
It's usually May. It's always May.
I think the Champions League final's in June this year.
Yeah,
they have the Club World Cup and all that.
I haven't even thought about that Club World Cup. I don't want to think about it. It's going to be a shambles.
Money racket. But Man City lose 4-0 to Tottenham. What's going on there? 5 losses in a row. First time ever for
I would like to point out
Guardiola.
You were calling for Ange Postecoglou's head on the last podcast.
And hold on. When was I calling out for Ange Postecoglou's head?
You said he wasn't good enough to bring Spurs forward, was what you're saying.
Did I say that, or did I say that about... Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, no, I think I was correct. One outlier result against your fodder club, as well as called Man City, because they beat them every single time.
Cheer up, Postecoglou. What did you think about Spurs this weekend? They were really impressive. Without their 2 starting centre halves as well, I thought they were really good.
I think there's a crisis at Man City.
Is there?
Genuinely, I think if they're folding...
of what?
If they're folding like this to a Tottenham Hotspur side that are one of the worst Tottenham Hotspur sides I've ever seen, I can only imagine what's going on in that club at the moment. Do
you think it's turmoil within as well?
I think there's turmoil within.
Wow.
I think
Guardiola's just signed a new contract.
I think they've offered Pep Guardiola a new contract, but I think there's turmoil within the dressing room. I think he may have lost the dressing room here.
No, I don't think so. I don't believe so. I just think it's a bad patch, Kieran.
Adam,
I just think it's bad.
They were 1-0 up against Brighton, and we didn't. I don't think we did a podcast after that.
No, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, Matt O'Reilly scored the winner, didn't he?
They were 1-0 up against them, and they folded. I'd never seen a Man City team fold so quickly in a game. It happens again here. They fold from minute 1.
Is it?
And I don't think you can blame the lack of midfield depth on this, because they have Mateus Nunes.
How good is Rodri?
For good money.
How good is Rodri for this to all be happening? Like, what the hell?
I don't think you can blame on Rodri.
Yeah,
they were missing Rodri for majority of games last season.
I think a few of them, their races run would be my opinion. But to play how City want to play, you know.
I think they're missing Kovacic as well, and they were missing De Bruyne, so there's a lot to be said for the amount of midfielders they are missing. But I think the fact they have quality on the pitch, Bernardo Silva, Haaland, Foden. Foden is a shadow of the player.
Grealish comes on and gives away a goal as well, doesn't he?
Walker gets skinned by Timo Werner.
Yeah, and that was the point of which I was like, wow,
Yeah.
There could be an issue here. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't really know. Because I can see Man City going on a run, Kieran. It's as simple as that. They still have the minerals to do it. The loss of Sporting Lisbon a couple of weeks ago probably should have been a sign. We probably should have been like, oh, could be in trouble here.
That was another case. They're not just losing games. They're
being beaten, like, badly.
They're losing games by 3 or 4 goals. I've never seen a Man City team under Pep Guardiola lose by 3 or 4 goals.
I think the thing with them is, and it's the same with a lot of the top teams, Madrid, Liverpool, etc. When you're on form and you're playing the way they play, because it is open, it's very much risk-reward type of football. Man City have just been picked off. Like, even the fourth goal that we're talking about, Grealish cuts inside and he's trying to get it out, I think, to Rico Lewis or Bernardo Silva, whoever was on that right wing for City. And he just misplaces the pass. Timo Werner gets on it and he just sizes Walker up. And I think before Walker could even think about closing him down, he was gone. So I just think they're just bad run of form. I think Walker particularly looks like he's lost his pace, which isn't good, obviously. I think that because that's his main trait. Because I don't think, as far as an actual defender goes, I don't think he's that good at defending. I think his pace is the big thing that saves him in a lot of these.
Yeah.
You know,
we always see his recovery pace.
Yeah. So, do I think they're in crisis? No, I don't. I just think they're in a bad run of form. The game on Sunday is massive, though. The game on Sunday is really big.
I think we said this at the start of the year as well. We said that they didn't recruit enough in the summer. And they brought in Savinho. And he looks good, whatever. But I just don't think these Pep signings, even when they do bring him in, they're not hitting like they...
Well, this multi-club ownership, by the way, because that's how they got Savinho, wasn't it, from Girona? That's where they got him. And I don't know if you've seen videos of him up for Girona, but he's electric. And he's shown parts of that for City.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't want to say Pep's ruined him in the sense that he's not a good player. But he's just, Pep's modified him to play his way. And there's no dynamism really. There's no kind of cutthroat, cutting edge. And I think that's a bit sad because he's done the same with Grealish. And obviously Grealish has good returns, goals and assists. But I don't think he's given the freedom to play how he wants to play. And I think that's disappointing for Man City.
Are people just catching up on them, do you reckon? Is it just getting to the case where you have a good team, Brighton, with, I forget that young manager's name.
Heisler,
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
They absolutely ran him off the pitch.
Podcast, by the way, we don't know.
Well, this guy is new as well, in fairness. But
he's not too much older than us either.
Heisler. He's making it look easy with Brighton. And then you have the likes of Ange, obviously, he says he's going to win a trophy in his third season. He always does.
Do you think he's going to be sacked?
Well, that remains to be seen. But then you have the likes of Emery and just really good managers. Slot coming into Liverpool. Maresca
is looking
a disciple of Pep, and then Arteta as well.
That's a great word.
Another disciple of Pep. Is there just too much quality there?
Like you could even, like, from a Liverpool point of view, like you were saying, have these teams caught up with him. It looks like Slot's caught up with him, and then some. Look like he's after, like, to be 8 points clear this early on is massive.
You're saying Man City will go on a run.
I think they will.
I don't think that's enough to win the league now. They're 8 points behind.
Do you think that's because you don't see Liverpool losing games? So
no, I don't.
Interesting. It's an interesting dynamic to have, because I think if you look at how Man City have generally won their leagues under Pep, it's always been them and Liverpool or Arsenal recent seasons.
Yeah.
Kind of going head to head, going at it. And it's almost like the pressure of a title race, for Man City kind of pushes them over the edge.
Yeah.
Whereas with Liverpool, the last time Liverpool won a league, they just blew everyone out of the water. Is that the only way to beat Man City? Is that the only way to kind of win a league this day and age? Because I think potentially it could be. Arsenal can't do it. Arsenal couldn't do it last season.
I think in the past, yes. But we're seeing now there is something up in the dressing room, I believe, anyway.
Why do you think that, though?
But I just think all good things come to an end. Everything has a sell by day. Life, plants, trees,
Jesus Christ,
earth, Sun death of the universe, golf, Tiger Woods. Everything has its sell by date. And I just think this Man City team under Pep Guardiola, what is he, 10 years into this project now? I just think it's reached sell by date. I think everyone's gone through the motions.
Have they? But well. Do you think it's like the likes of Bernardo, De Bruyne, Gundogan's come back, Ruben Diaz, Kyle Walker? Have these players just
checked out?
Not even checked out.
They've checked out.
Have they reached their peak almost? Are they starting to decline?
They haven't started to decline. They've checked out.
They're
finished.
Kevin De Bruyne is in and out of Man City.
Kevin
Past
De Bruyne
2-3 seasons, he's consistently hasn't been fit.
Kevin De Bruyne,
Rodri's out now and they're missing.
Is on £425,000 a week. He's the highest paid footballer in the Premier League. He's the highest paid footballer in the Premier League. He's on almost £500,000 a week. Would you run down the road for that much when you're on that amount of money and even try hard in your job? I think these players are going through the motions. Kevin De Bruyne, by the way, out of contract in 6 months. Why on earth would he care?
Do you think what do you think the situation is there though?
He's won everything.
Is he going to leave Man City? Is that what you're alluding to?
I think he's done. He might try and make more money in Saudi Arabia.
Could do.
He's towards the tail end of his career. He's won everything there is to win. These players don't have any hunger. Phil Foden, I don't know what's happened to Phil Foden.
Yeah, it's a weird one with Foden. But I think we talked about it before. Because he's been playing so much football since he's been a young age.
The ombudsman, sorry, that was a good one.
Because he's been playing football since such a young age, like typically speaking, happened with Michael Owen, happened with Wayne Rooney, like because they've been playing so much football from a young age, they do tend. I'm not gonna say they don't. Those lads didn't fall off a cliff. I'm not saying Foden is, but the decline, and I'm not saying Foden's decline either. I just think for him specifically, I think it's a bad patch. But he will be young when he starts to climb, is my point. Because he's been playing so much football since he's, 16, 17. Like,
yeah.
You know?
He can't do it without the rest of them as well.
Maybe that's the situation. I think, like, we're talking about recruitment and stuff as well. Like, a player like Jeremy Doku, I don't think he's a great deputy. I don't think he's up to it, really.
Well, this is another point. Savinho, now, to be fair, he isn't the worst of them. Mateus Nunes, I think, has been very poor. Recruitment. If you're looking at a replacement for Rodri, and as you said, Doku, they haven't brought anyone in to replace Alvarez. Alvarez was.
I think they were resting hopes on Oscar Bob. You know.
Yeah. Well, this is it.
Yeah. I think City will go and run. That's my personal opinion.
I can't see it.
You can call me crazy.
And I said Arsenal win the league at the start of the year. I'm sticking by that. For now, I think Arsenal have a good run coming up, and I think it's going to be a Liverpool-Arsenal title race.
Kieran, and I'm not saying Liverpool are going to run away this league. They're 11. What's it? That's 9 points off Liverpool at the minute.
Yeah, see,
a win for Liverpool the weekend, and if Arsenal drop points, you're talking nearly 11, 12 points ahead of them.
They have a good run of fixtures coming up.
Do you believe Arsenal can overturn that deficit more so than City? Because I don't know if I do.
I don't. To answer your question, I don't. But you need to stick by your convictions at the same time. But no, I do think it's a case where Arsenal have a very good run of fixtures coming up, and we'll see what they're made of in the next 6. They dispatched of Nottingham Forest fairly easily, or fourth going into that game. And I think they looked a bit better in the last 2 games against Chelsea and Forest than they have in previous. With Odegaard coming back, I think Odegaard
is a massive one.
He adds another dimension. He's a terrific player. He adds another dimension to Arteta's style of play as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think Saka is great, but I don't think you can do it without Odegaard. Would you agree with that?
No, I think I do like Bukayo Saka. I don't think I don't rate him as much as typically Arsenal fans do. But it's not to say he's a bad player for any stretch of imagination. I do think I do think Arsenal will probably pose a threat, in the long run here. But I don't envision it being a City, Arsenal, Liverpool title race. I don't know. I still see it being City and Liverpool. I just think Arsenal will be more susceptible to dropping points than Man City. In the long run, I think City have a better squad. I think when they get on form, if a Man City on form wipes the floor.
I don't think there is a Man City on form this year. I could be wrong, but I don't think we're going to see.
This isn't going to last all season.
That dynamism of the last few seasons.
This won't last all season, I wouldn't say. Be surprised if it did.
I think with the lack of squad depth, I see a firm chance of this lasting the whole season, especially if they're in the Champions League and fighting on all fronts.
Yeah, but City
it could be a bit like Klopp's season at Liverpool, where he had all them centre backs injured that time.
Could be. We like. I just think it'd be foolish to write Man City off. And I'm not writing Arsenal off either. I probably have in the past. I think Arsenal will be too far away come the end of the season. I still firmly believe that. I think City will be closer to Liverpool. I think if anyone is to win the league that isn't Liverpool, it'll be Man City.
Yeah. What about Chelsea, Adam? What are you impressed by their last few runs?
They're looking good. I wouldn't read a whole lot into a win over Leicester, to be honest.
No, but the last run of games that they've been on, 4 unbeaten. What do you think?
No, yeah, good run. I had draws against United in there, wasn't there? And a draw at Arsenal.
Yeah.
8-0 over FC Noah, and then a 2-1 win over Newcastle, and a 2-0 loss to Newcastle, all in space there. There's Chelsea are side in transition. I don't think you can expect a whole lot from Maresca this season. You have to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. And it's a bit like Amorim at United. And I suppose we'll touch on that in a minute. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
I think he's managed the squad quite well.
Yeah,
I would say
he has.
And he's managing lots of egos. Obviously, you have Joe Felix, and Kunku as well is kicking up apparently because he's not getting game time.
He should. You can kick up all you like, but Cole Palmer's playing ahead of him. Was I right in saying that?
Cole Palmer and Jackson as well is in great form.
He can't, there's no... And I think we have a question about Jackson and getting out, so I suppose we might leave that till then, but these lads are performing, and it's as simple as that. And I suppose you were saying he's managing the squad well. Maybe this could be an indication that he isn't, to an extent. But if Nkunku isn't performing in training or shown that he's going to play better than either of these players, then he shouldn't be playing. I think it's very simple to understand,
I don't think they're title contenders yet. I'd be the first to jump on the delusional train 100%, but I'm not going to be an Arsenal fan and sit here and act like there isn't weaknesses because the goalkeeper is absolutely rubbish. I think he's a weak link. He wasn't tested at all against Leicester. He still managed to concede.
Yeah,
but
there was a few points in the game as well. And obviously Chelsea play out from the back, but there was one, and he got so plays into, I think it might have been Fernandez or I don't know who it was, and they he gets tackled in his own box, and it's if that was maybe 5-10 yards outside the box, and Leicester dispossess that and hold on to it, you're in big trouble. He's in big, and obviously he wasn't in the end, but it's such a peculiar side, or he's such a peculiar player, I suppose, because I think as far as shot stopping goes, he's really good. But the way modern football is now, a goalie that plays out from the back, I don't know if he has that.
Oh no, he's rubbish. I take Keller actually, but
which is a rumour that's gone around as well.
Yeah, I'd 100% take Keller. But yeah, other than that, I think the midfield has vastly improved under Maresca.
Fernandez looked really good.
Fernandez was good, and he looks a bit fresher the last few games. Caicedo has been excellent from minute 1 this season, and I feel like there was a bit of price tag bias anyway, but I think he's kind of shutting up all the doubters a bit, finally. And also Jackson's going under the radar, how well he's doing. 7 goals this season so far. I think 5 assists as well.
He's had a good season.
So
3 assists. But yeah, no,
he's not getting memed on anymore, which is good. And it's good to see some sort of something that resembles consistency. Anyway, I think there's definitely weaknesses at the back and in goal. I think that needs to be sorted before you think of any sort of title challenge. But I would like to see a title challenge within the next 2 seasons. I think that the amount of money invested in the squad, you need to see something within the next 2 seasons. That's my
James injured again as well. I suppose. Do you want to touch on that or
not really? I think he's an unlucky footballer. I think it's as simple as that. He's just unlucky, and I can't really comment. I wish it could be different, but unfortunately, this is how things happen.
Yeah. I think it's a really bad one because all the potential in the world once upon a time, and I think at times when he's come back from injury, and I'm saying this, I'm not a professional footballer, but at times he's come back from injury and he's looked, not fully fit. And you're kind of wondering, like if I'm Maresca, and the Liverpool game is a good example of it. I don't think he played, exceptionally bad in that game.
I thought he was poor,
but he looked unfit.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean, for a player at the top level? And if I can see that, I'm sure Maresca can see it, and the management and the fitness or whatever. I'm just curious as to why he's being thrown back in. Obviously, he's shown and trained that he can play, but
I think the game's passed him by as well. I think while he's sitting on the bench, the game is evolving constantly, and you have these kind of inverted fullbacks coming into it, and he's more tailored to an overlapping fullback and the old system way of doing things. I just think he's struggling to keep up with the running game as well. So
I think he could play that role though as an inverted fullback as well. I think he has the distribution to be able to play.
Well, I just think Gusto looks better than him. He looks fitter than him. You can't really
player who's injured as well.
Take him out of the team. Yeah, but he's not as flimsy. Yeah. But anyway, it's going well. I'll touch on Villa really quickly before we move on to get it out, Adam. If you
Man United as well.
Man United,
Amorim's first game.
We'll touch on Villa because they're looking quite flimsy for a team that were on the up less than 6 or 7 games ago. They're on 18 points now. I think they're dropping points left, right, and centre. They draw to this woeful Crystal Palace side. What's going on with them? Is Europe getting to them or?
Yeah. I was gonna let you kind of get to your point, but my reason is probably Champions League football. And at the end of the day, like, are they lucky to be in the position they're in? I don't think so. I think Emery has worked really well to get them to where they are, but there's only so far you can stretch a team. Do you know? And I think they're probably at the point of which they're like, can you get much more out of the side? Is it a prioritization kind of things? But like, Aston Villa have a very good chance of going far in Europe.
Yeah.
Personally speaking, I really believe they do. If you're an Aston Villa fan, would you rather, I'm saying this if it'll happen, play in the Champions League final, potentially win it, and Emery has a track record of doing well in European competitions. I'm telling you now, or would you rather finish in top 4 in the Premier League? Because I tell you what I prefer.
Champions League winner, yeah.
Do you know,
they're close to the top, aren't they?
They're close to the top. Yeah. They've been very good. Beating the likes of Bayern Munich, like they've been really, really good. And I remember a couple of years ago, Newcastle were the ones in the Champions League, and or was last season? I think it was last season.
They bought a little bit.
They done really bad. Aston Villa have shown how to go about it. I think Palace. I was surprised with Palace, to be fair, because I think Glasner's been really bad this season for them, and I don't think they've really kind of found their je ne sais quoi, their kind of how they should play. He's French, Kieran. He's French. Elise's gone. I don't think they've really replaced him. So I think they have struggled a bit, to be fair. But I think Aston Villa will be grand. I think they'll be alright. Would be my summarisation of that.
Yeah, I don't see them getting European football. Well, they might get Europa League, but I see Spurs stronger than them. See Chelsea stronger than them. See Arsenal stronger than them. City will hang on for 4th, I think, and Liverpool. So they have to beat all 5 of them. And Newcastle are coming up as well.
Brighton.
And
I really like Brighton's squad. They started from 4 of Ruter, Mitoma, Joe Pedro, and Welbeck the weekend. And probably the meme at the end is Welbeck, but Welbeck's performed well.
7 goals this year.
That's a great forward line. Jesus Christ, that's a really strong. Like, I would have Ruter, I'd have Mitoma, I'd have Ferguson. Pedro, all of Liverpool. No, not Ferguson. But like there's good side, and I think the thing about the Premier League now is, and Slot made a point about it before. It's like you could be manager of final and you could be playing like Excelsior or some shit team there, Division, and not one player off that team will get into their team.
Yeah.
I think the good thing about the Premier League distribution wise is, like even Southampton, Dibbling the other day, really really impressive. Like he would get a move to a top team. Like there's players in every team.
He's only played 3 games this year though.
But he's looked good in every game. For, was he 16, 17? He's performed really well. He's performed at a high level.
Yeah.
So, like, the distribution of quality in the league is really dense. So, like, a lot of the teams have players that could easily play for a team above their weight and stuff like that. So, that kind of group from Liverpool to, I would say, Brighton. Liverpool, Brighton, Villa, Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, City. That's as strong as a top 8 or top 7, however many teams I've named there, as you're going to get.
That's why they shouldn't be in the Europa Conference,
Newcastle,
in my opinion.
Before we move on to get it out, Kieran, a very densely Premier League populated episode. Man United's first game under new management, Ruben Amorim.
That was a tongue twister, wasn't it?
Did you like it? I got out alive.
Sectors, scissors.
Ruben Amorim, Manchester United manager, first game away to Ipswich, ends in a 1-1 draw.
Uneventful, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think
it's a long road ahead of him. Man. He looks so frustrated already.
I think he's mad playing 5 at the back with the personnel he has. Like he's trying to play his own system, bless him. But I don't think playing Mazraoui as a centre back, and it actually cost him the first goal as well, or the Ipswich's first goal, as Mazraoui heading it into his own net. But I don't think he has the personnel to play the system already. Yeah,
but he's gonna do it, and I kind of respect it in a way.
Yeah,
but like to play the way he wants to play, do you really want Ama Diallo dropping back that far? Probably not. Do you want Evans as a left centre half? Definitely not. The way he's gonna play, especially defensively. You want players who are comfortable in wide spaces because there's going to be a lot of open space between the midfield and defence, especially at that left side, if that's where Evans is going to occupy. Does he have the pace, kind of the ability at this age to play that role? Probably not. Martinez coming in, I would fancy to do better in that position just because of his, you were talking about low centre of gravity, stuff like that. It would suit him. Mazraoui at right back. I know you were saying he's probably a fault for the first goal. I don't actually think he played that badly. The midfield, Eriksen and Casemiro, no legs, so they're not going to be able to play this kind of transition ball that he wants United to play. So
was Kobe Mainoo playing? Sorry, was Kobe Mainoo playing? No, and he was on the bench.
He was on the bench.
See, this is my problem. Like, why would you not play Ugarte and Kobe Mainoo? I think that's.
It's a lack of trust, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I think he was the one that brought Ugarte through Lisbon as well. So, but like even up front, Rashford doing the typical Marcus Rashford thing of throwing his toys out of pram, getting a manager sacked, and then the new manager comes in, scores in his first game. Rashford is the epitome of all the problems at United, I think.
Cheers for the fan tracks points, Marcus.
But I truly believe that it's a long road ahead from him. And he looked so kind of, at the end of the game, he was doing an interview with Sky, and bless him, I actually thought it was really unfortunate. He's doing a great interview about tactics and insight, and then Ed Sheeran just rocks up, and Jamie Redknapp is hugging him, and Amorim kind of goes, is looking at him like, why the fuck's this fella here? You know what I mean? Yeah. And he jokingly said, no, I don't want him here. Obviously, I don't know if he was being serious or not, but he did look like his head was gone. I can't imagine he dealt with stuff like this at Sporting Lisbon, kind of the media.
But I'm Ed Sheeran, mate. I'm Ed Sheeran.
I can't imagine.
I do what I want.
I can't imagine he dealt with this media bullshit at Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah. And I think that's a problem with the Premier League though as well. It's about the football. You're bringing people like Ed Sheeran on. He belongs on the fucking stage.
And Ed Sheeran, he literally just goes, I'm just so happy to be with the Premier League.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy to be here. And Redknapp's like, well, I'll talk to you later.
But that's a flaw. It's literally the commercialisation of the game has become a problem. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Ed Sheeran, yeah, fair enough, he does what he does.
Great.
Each their own. If you're a fan of his music, you know, he's popular.
And your legs don't work like they used to.
But on the football pitch, it's about football. It should be about football. It should be about
Darling,
the product. And they're on Sky as well.
Be loving you till we're 17. No, it is a problem. It is. Of course it's a problem. But like that's how they make money. Do you know? Another thing that I have a problem with Sky, generally speaking, is the likes of an influencer, you know, before game and after game being involved. I don't get that at all. Like, what's your man's name? Chunks or Big Zoo, all these lads. Like, what the fuck? Why?
Big Zoo.
I think that's his name. Why are these people involved with Sky Sports? Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah. Bring it back to
did you see? Do you know what I like, right? Did you ever see the fan debate, the Overlap do?
Yeah.
And they get all the lads from the fan channels in, and it's usually Carragher, Neville, Carragher, Scholes, whoever.
Yeah.
They've done this thing now where it's two influencers doing it. So it's two
I've
influencers
seen
leading
that,
it.
yeah.
And the one just gone, the fella who was presented was a United fan. And he was being contrary to Adam McCullough. I was like, hold on, mate. You're on the same level as this chap. You've no jurisdiction to be contrary to him.
Yeah.
And it was just a bit of a schmoz. I didn't enjoy it. I'm not mad on Sky doing these things anymore, to be honest.
Dave's sniggering in the corner over there. It's hard to keep a straight face. But we move on to get
He's
it
a
out.
big fan of Ed Sheeran, that's why.
Do you want to sing more Ed Sheeran?
People fall in love in mysterious ways. Do you not know the rest of that song?
I do, but I don't want to sing it. I don't like Ed
It's
Sheeran.
I actually, to be fair, that I do like that song. That's a good song. We'll move on to get it out. A lot of questions this week. We're going to start with Guga, who says, Theo Shell's loyal. Do you know what Theo Shells is? No, you don't. Right, fair enough.
No, who's Theo Shells?
Oh, that's just... It's a long story, would be what I'd say. Gary says, overrated footballers. Name a few. Go on, Karen, I'll let you name one.
Mohamed Salah.
Reason?
He's just... He's all goals and assists, but really he's just penalties and assists.
Penalties are still goals. Karen.
Who else?
He has more MPGs than Nick Jackson this season.
Nick Jackson.
I was trying not to sneeze there. Overrated ballers. My one would probably be Reece James.
Reece James. He's still in your head, I can see, anyway, even though he's injured.
Yeah, I just think he's very overrated. I think you talked about how the game's passed him by. I think that was always going to be a case when he's being compared to the best right back in the Premier League, which was...
But was Trent not being compared to him?
No, I think the biggest compliment that's ever been paid to Reece James is his comparison to Trent. Yeah.
It's clearly still rattling you.
No, it's not rattling me. It's not rattling me. Liverpool are 8 points clear, 9 points clear of Chelsea.
Yeah. But Reece James is still in your head.
So Reece James in my head, but Mo Salah isn't in your head, is what you were saying.
No. I just think he's overrated.
Gary says Dave replacing Cran. Who says no?
Dave, do you want to replace me?
No. You were too good.
Willa says Amorim debut thoughts. Underwhelming would be what I would say. I think there was a lot of chat about his style, how he was going to revolutionise Man United. Rome wasn't built in a day, so I think it's part of the media's problems that they built it up so much. But I would say, if I was describing one word, it'd be underwhelming.
I think the difference between him and, say, Arne Slot coming in his first
Why'd you
season.
say it like that?
Sorry, Arne Slot coming in his first season. It's a bit like waxing your back, you know? Like, Man United's back isn't waxed, whereas Liverpool's back was. You know, Arne Slot started with a clean slate. I think with Amorim, there's a lot of shit to clean up before he gets the motors for him.
Slot had
Yeah,
a team almost waiting for him as well.
exactly. Ready made.
Yeah.
It's a bit like sticking a bowl of microwave chips in the oven, you know, or into the microwave rather,
It makes absolutely no sense.
as opposed to cooking them from scratch.
It makes no sense. You're Gary says Cran's opinion on Steve Cooper, Mr. Schneebly.
I like Steve Cooper. I'm kind of sad he's gone. I think it's the end of an era.
Yeah, it's a bit. No, I don't think he's. I don't think he deserved to keep his job though.
Why not? He only lost to Chelsea.
14 wins, 14 Premier League wins. I think Was that the stat I seen earlier? Sorry, he's won in 4 grounds in the Premier League. Twice at St Mary's, once at Stamford Bridge, 10 times at the City Grounds, and once at the King Power, is that where Leicester play? So 14 Premier League wins is what he had. I think I could be getting the maths wrong there.
Are you gonna miss him though?
No, not really. Why are you?
I think the memes, yeah. You know, he was good.
Not a good manager for me, Kieran, I don't think. Gary says, Liverpool not win the league from here be a bigger bottle job than Derry. Well, you didn't think Derry not winning anything was a bottle job, Kieran, so surely not.
No, it wouldn't. Because Derry wasn't a bottle job.
So it would be then. Sorry, it would be then. If Derry's wasn't a bottle job, surely whatever happens to Liverpool.
Sorry, it was hard to wrap that around
Christ
my head.
almighty.
It's hard to get these things wrapped around your head.
Gary says, update on Dave's ankle. Do you want to hand Dave the microphone there? Dave, how's your ankle? Do you want to explain what happened?
I was trying to be a hero on nets for the Vavasour. In the process, my body went right, me right leg went left. I nearly broke it. Still in a bit of pain.
Ligament damage.
I think it is just ligament damage. I might go to GP and request an MRI. But
Do you want to show the people your ankle on the camera there?
no, I don't want to show them the people's ankle.
For anyone who doesn't know, Dave was playing in goal in our 7-a-side last week, our inaugural 7-a-side, and our inaugural, what was that?
I was eyebrow right on Dave there.
In our inaugural 7-a-side footballing escapades, and he essentially sprained his ankle, like ligament damage. But the way Dave explained it to me on Thursday evening was, do you ever see Alisson in goal for Liverpool, how he gets down? And I said to Dave, I goes, I'll stop you right there. I'll stop you before you go any further. Alisson Becker, who was a professional goalkeeper for the past 17 years, Dave was trying to emulate him. He's alright, he's grand, you're okay.
I'll live.
He'll live, thankfully. It might make it
hold on, my first question is, why are you trying to emulate one of the most overrated goalkeepers of all time?
Gary's given us 2 11s to do. We might do one really quickly. Your best 11 of podcast listeners.
Gary Vav.
Dave in goal. Yeah, Gary Vav 1 to
yeah,
11.
that's my
we'll go Dave in goal, Gary Vav at right back, Woodser and Jack Ryan at centre half, Ian at left back. I think Alton, I'd imagine he'd play midfield or something. Guga can play in front. I'll be the manager. Adam Fahy in midfield with Alton. I'm trying to look at who asked questions. Willa can play midfield as well. Sennan on the left wing and Willa on the right wing. That's just from people who asked questions. Rory up front.
Yeah.
Well, I had Guga up front, but it doesn't matter. All-time Premier League 11 players who didn't play for your club. We can do that next week. I'm not doing that now, Karen. We do that.
I can roll it off the tongue right now.
Jesus, be good. Go on.
Anyway.
Gary says, will this episode be named after me since it was my birthday on Friday? Gary, we did discuss this earlier, and Kieran says no.
Gary, Kulok and Kieran says no.
Gary's last question, he says, what's your favourite thing about Brazil? My favourite thing is Ronaldo Nazario, the original Ronaldo, the better Ronaldo.
My favourite thing is,
you know why he's asking this?
acai bowls.
Are they Brazilian?
And protein.
Who told you they were Brazilian?
I think the acai is from Brazil.
Okay.
Just on my life experience, rather.
Alden says, does tomato sauce go in the fridge or the press? For me, it goes in the bin. It's disgusting.
Tomato sauce.
You love a bit of ketchup.
But is he talking about ketchup then?
Yes, obviously.
He's not talking about like the stuff.
No, not like passata sauce. No,
passata, like.
It's not about tomato ketchup. Fucking classic TK
or sauce you put in the pizza. You know.
No, he's not talking about that. He's not. You know what he's talking about? Fridge
tomato
or press?
Ketchup.
Yes.
Okay.
Fridge or ketchup? Fridge or press? Answer the fucking question, please.
What? Fridge.
Oh, Dave loves a bit of ketchup.
It's not in the fridge, man. It's always
Press. In the bin for me. He says, what's the funniest thing you've seen someone do in public I'm gonna say Kieran going down in a toy plane in Cologne. All the children looking at you. Alton says, if you're both in an exam, which of you would be the first to copy each other's work or cheat? You would copy me. That's just not true. That's just not true.
Adam would
fucking
peer
true,
over.
man.
I know the way.
I don't have the
Adam
physical dexterity to look over your body.
It'll kind of you kind of use the peripheral vision, and he'd be like that. Oh, what's Kieran doing right in there? And then he'd copy it down word for word.
Not true.
Very true.
Not true.
Very true.
Not true. Alton says, what is the most boring part of a game of football, and how would you remove it?
I think when a team scores.
What?
I think after a team scores and they not park the bus, but like they go into their shell for like 2 or 3 minutes. I think that's very boring.
I thought you meant directly after scoring. I think there's too many stoppages in play now. There's too many stoppages that happen. I think throw-ins are a big one. Throw-ins and substitutions.
They were trying to clamp down that for a while.
I think there's a more effective way of doing that. Like why do we have to stop the game? Why can't the players just run on and off? There probably is a reason why, and I'm just completely missing it. But apart from that, I don't know. I think maybe the drive home from an away day can be quite boring, especially if you lose.
I'd remove the officials completely.
Just have Cherie Law, like just
yeah,
okay.
Have a score maker.
I think that's a bad idea.
Well,
Dave Donnelly says Nicholas Jackson put some respect on his name.
Very true, Dave.
What do you think?
Very, very true, David. Or Woody, rather.
Woodley.
Woodser. Very true.
I still think he's a bit of a liability, to be honest.
I think he's 7 goals,
good player, though.
3 assists.
Good player though. He's a good player.
Adam slating him here again. He doesn't respect Nicholas Jackson. He has one of the best outputs in the league, even since he joined.
Florida Cup winner with Chelsea in 2023.
Yeah. And
the summer series of the Barclays Premier League 2023 as well. Yeah.
How many goals does
That's what he has. Are you going to bring Nunes in?
How many goals does Nunes have?
Where is Nunes in the league and where is not Jackson in the league?
Oh, so a player.
Where is Nunes in the league? Where is Jackson in the league?
So how good?
Where is Nunes in the league? Where is Jackson in the league?
How good a player is?
Where is Nunes? Where is Nunes in the league? Where is Jackson in the league?
Where is
Nunes in the league? Where is Jackson in the league?
Their team's achievements.
Where is Nunes in the league and where is Jackson in the league?
What?
Where is
they're not in the league?
They're in the league.
They're not in the league.
Okay, where is Liverpool and where is Chelsea in the league?
No, that wasn't the question you asked.
That's the question I asked.
Nunes in the league?
And where is Jackson in the league?
Yeah, they're not in the league.
Who do they represent?
Liverpool and Chelsea are in the league.
Who do they represent?
Who represents? Who do you represent?
Liverpool are top of the league.
Who do you represent?
Liverpool top of the league. Questions. David and Woody says Kieran plays football like his talk on the podcast. See you on Thursday. Walter texted me last week after the Derry podcast and just said that was a tough listen.
It's nice to have haters. It keeps you on your toes.
And Rory Higgins, who Kieran said should not be sacked, has since been sacked.
Does he listen to the podcast?
Rory Higgins, probably not.
Yeah, that's why he got sacked. That's why he was sacked.
Moving on. Stephen Codd says, how big is Salah's wage demands? I'm not going to ask what he asked. What do you think Salah's looking for?
Salah probably wants $1 million a year. He doesn't care about Liverpool. He just wants the bag.
Why do you think that? $1 million a year wouldn't be quite a lot, actually, yeah.
Sorry, $1 million. $1 million a week.
Son of a Cake says, how much is Gary paid for vlog appearances and weekly questions? He's paid in cuddles from you, Kieran, on away days, isn't he? Because they Kieran and Gary share a bed usually.
I can't confirm or deny that.
He says, do the Leonards have a loyalty card for the A&E? Yeah, at this stage we do. He says, top 5 pubs in Dublin. I like that. We'll go with that. Top 5 pubs in Dublin. Number 1, the Hut for me.
I think the Hut's up there.
The Hut.
I like Heinz.
In Stony Barra?
Yeah. I like Walsh's, but it's very full all the time.
It's always full. It's hard to get a point in there.
Yeah, the Barbers.
The Barbers. I'm not mad on the Barbers.
Yeah. And
It's probably going to be controversial. I love a point in Gravediggers.
the Palace.
Palace, Bows, another one, BOWS. Not to be mistaken with the hipsters from Hipster.
The Belfry is nice, actually.
Belfry is nice for what?
For a woman.
Oh.
To bring a woman. Enjoy yourselves.
Oh, God. Senan says, Ruud van Nistelrooy for the Leicester job. I don't think that's a bad idea, actually. Senan usually comes out with terrible shouts, but that's not a bad one at all.
I think it's a terrible show. Based on 3 games he had at United.
He's literally the manager of PSV and won a title.
Does that matter? Ten Hag won the title.
Arne Slot won a title.
Yeah, but does it matter in the long run?
I think it does matter.
Yeah. What has Arne Slot done with Liverpool?
We're top of the league by 8 points.
Nothing.
We're top of the league by 8 points.
Nothing. He hasn't done anything, which is
We've lost 1 game of football this season.
Oh. So because you went on 12, what was it, 12 wins then? 10 wins? 10 wins you have? Does he even have 10 wins?
Champions League doesn't exist, Kieran, in your world, by the sounds of it.
No. It's a Super League now.
Sham Galvin says, shout out to Ben Case's sister. He says, thoughts on your man's sister who frequently gets mentioned. Can we really discuss this, Sham? Jesus Christ, man.
I just think it's funny how he mentioned it so much. People are finally copping on.
Carl Brennan, shout out to him, because he used to always ask me about Ben's sister.
Yeah.
I hope she doesn't listen to this podcast. Does Ben listen? Ben listens.
Ben listens, but I don't know if he's shown his sister yet.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Dave said this earlier on. We said, would Kieran want Kelleher over Sanchez? Is Quiveen Kelleher top 5 goalie in the Premier League? Oh,
I don't think he's top 5 goalie in the Premier League.
I think he is. I believe he is. There's not many goalies I'd have ahead of him.
I'd put Alisson ahead of him. I'd put Raya ahead of him. I'd put Ederson
2,
ahead of him.
3.
I'd put Vicario ahead of him.
No.
I'd put...
You've lost me over Vicario.
I'd probably put Nick Pope ahead of him. And then I'd put Emi Martinez ahead of him.
Martinez, yeah.
So that would be...
I'd say Martinez, Ederson, Raya and Alisson are better goalkeepers than... I think Quiveen Kelleher. They'd be the 4 goalies I'd say Brighton Kelleher. So therefore Kelleher, for me, would be top 5 in the league.
Yeah, but you're also deluded, so that
You said earlier you wanted Kelleher at Chelsea.
I'm just saying, you're also deluded.
Would you rather Sanchez over Kelleher?
Sanchez isn't a good goalkeeper. Of course I'd take Kelleher over
There
Sanchez.
you go. You're very good at not answering questions you're asked.
Did I ask you a question?
No.
Did you ask me a question there?
Yes.
What did you ask me?
I just said, would you take Kelleher over Sanchez? And you said...
I said yeah.
Yeah, after a bit of deliberation.
Well, I'm allowed to deliberate.
You're passing time now. Needlessly.
Where are all the election questions?
Last question. I'm not answering any election questions. Last question from Dan Levin over in the Vancouver area. Is it Vancouver he's in? Isn't it?
It's a Vancouver area, I believe. Edmonton, isn't it?
Is it? It could be Edmonton.
Yeah, Edmonton. I plucked that from the sky, Dan.
I don't think it is, but just for...
I think it is.
He says...
Confirm that for me, Dan.
He says, Cran, do you still think David Coote should keep his job?
Dan? Well, Daniel...
Damn, Daniel.
What if I said, I don't think anyone should keep their job?
And that's it for this week's podcast. Thank you for joining
Including myself.
Thank you for joining
Including this man here.
Thank you for joining us this week, as ever, in the
This man over here as well.
Potato Watch studio.
Sack
It's
them
Potato
all.
Watch. No, it's not Potato Watch. That's
Studio 250.
250. We
Created
do
by
appreciate
the pandemic.
all the love. All the love and support, as always. The podcast is on YouTube this week. Our lovely faces, for those of you who want to see it. On Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. Kieran, it's actually been a really good podcast this week, I think.
I really enjoyed it. We haven't done 1 2 weeks, and I missed being contrary in my life.
Yeah.
I needed it.
Yeah, I feel like your contrariness is starting to wear on me, because I just don't bite anymore. You described Alisson and Mo Salah as being very overrated earlier, and I
I'll
just
always find a way.
didn't buy.
I'll always find a way.
Darling, I will
I bit on that though. The Ed Sheeran.
I know. We leave it there. So. Dave. Come on, man. It's not.
Get that still.
No, Davey.
Get that still.
I'm not being. We set ground rules.
Yeah.
When we,
You're not
no, Dave.
You're not
Davey, I'm being serious with you. We set ground rules when we first started the podcast in 2021 that we wouldn't fart in each other's presence during the record.
You're not allowed to
I'm
fart.
being deadly serious with you.
Fuck off, lads.
I'm being deadly serious.
You know the rules.
Rules are made to be broken, boys.
We've been in here before and he's fired and I've gone, get out.
Yeah,
Same,
I did,
likewise.
yeah, I did the same. It's
unprofessional. It's unprofessional.
Oh, God.
I'm being serious.
Yeah, I'm being serious. Well, no.
You can put this bit in the best bit as well.
Mike's still on.
Mike's just still alive.